And so I came across Wade. He's a professional dancer. Wade, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How's
Absolutely.
everybody doing?
So Wade is on top of his social media. We'll talk about a little bit about that later. But Wade, tell us how you became a dancer.
I think it was years ago. My father playing Michael Jackson, Gap Band, blues, R&B, funk. And my brothers and sisters and I, we were always dancing. And then once I started school in Kansas City and finished in New York, you know, that hobby developed into something more serious, the class level, then rehearsing with friends, and then performing, then getting paid, and then traveling.
Now let's take a couple steps back.
Yes.
You came into pole fitness and kind of told me your life story a little bit. I thought it was so fascinating. That's why I invited you on the show. And I thought, how amazing is it that you honed in on your skill at such a young, early age that you knew that you wanted to go from Kansas all the way to New York City and do, what school did you go to?
Well, from Arkansas. I started school at the Art Institute at Kansas City, and then I finished at New York at School of Visual Arts.
Okay.
And what brought me here to Vegas was Cirque du Soleil.
Wow. Okay.
So
how did you craft in on a specific type of dance, or did you go all over the place with different types of dance moves? So you learned.
It was the specifically the New York style salsa. It's known technically as New York on 2, but it's a New York nightclub style.
And how did you find that?
That was I was finishing school, and my friend who was originally from upstate New York, he mentioned, hey, let's go check out this salsa class. I didn't know what was the difference between New York style, LA style, or Cuban style.
I didn't know there was a different style, but
I mean, the larger difference meaning the when the person dances on a certain kind of the music bar, but also the culture of the city.
Really?
And the New York style has that New York flavor, that feel.
I can see a move into it. Yeah.
You know, the clothes, everything's fitted, and everything's cool. So when I saw these couple dancing in person as opposed to seeing it on TV, that really hooked me. So.
Oh yeah, and you're just addicted ever since.
Yeah, I think it was just the intricacy of the actual. I mean, it evolved as a street dance, but it was so much intricacy within it, and has so many aspects from social dance to competition to teaching to showcase. So that's what got me in it, and that's what's keeping me in it.
Cool. So where did you take it to the next level where you got paid and started gigging and dancing and stuff like before you came to Las Vegas?
It started at, within the salsa community in New York, many salsa communities around the city, they have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly social events. And so after a while, someone sees you dancing, they say, hey, you want to rehearse with us? And then, you know, a little while later, they say, we got a paid gig coming up, would you like to perform with us? And so that just evolves, and then your name develops from there.
Wow, interesting. So. And you've worked with a lot of photographers and so forth?
A lot of photographers, videographers in New York, also here in Vegas. But through that avenue, that got me involved in other forms of within the fashion industry where I did some events there.
Nice.
So.
Lovely. Now let's take it on another level, because you're in New York and you find this dance you just love, and everything about it you want to develop within your skills. Now when you find a partner you're going to dance with, how do you kind of switch off the, oh wow, she's really hot and I'm attracted to that girl, to she's got skills and I want to, I mean, have you fallen into like a line where you have to completely divide the personal and the professional when it comes to dancing?
Obviously, the main objective is the quote unquote, I'd say the business side of it, not to be so strict, but you know, what you have a leader, a follower, a group, more than one person. You know, hopefully they fall in love with the same, in this case, New York style salsa, meaning that we have the music, the New York bands, the Caribbean bands that will move to New York. So the 50s, 60s, 70s, early 80s, the Fania label. If there's a lady who falls in love with that era of music, that culture of New York, then we tap into the same idea.
Nice.
Even though obviously most part with my direction, but we tap into the same idea and it makes it much easier. But as far as like working together from business, and then if it evolves to personal, that's just a matter of, from a business standpoint, if the personalities click, can we both show up time? Can we both, work on the same steps? And then outside of rehearsal, outside of performing, if there's something more than that develops. But
has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I got a question.
I knew you had a question.
I know, I got a question.
I know you have a question.
Okay, you got a new partner coming in. Maybe you don't know much about this gal. I mean, can you tell within like 5 seconds this is a cold fish. She's got about the personality of a rock. Or this gal's cool. Okay, this one's gonna work. I love it. Or within 5 seconds, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a cold fish. Got the personality of a rock.
Yeah, how do you know?
I mean, there's a gut. I don't think it's like with any perspective down the line. You can't see too far down the pipeline, but there's a gut feeling if there's a certain look that you guys, that her and I would share. Maybe there's a height ratio.
Can't go for a 6-foot woman if you know. There's got to be a variation and the chemistry, I think, too.
Yeah, the chemistry. Obviously, a large part within dancing is the visual, obviously. If someone's 100 feet away seeing us on stage and the visual doesn't work, then something needs to be changed. But the visual first, as you said, the chemistry, and then how we continue to work together, not just for the first, month or 2 months when it's fresh, but going through the grunt work of rehearsals, the grunt work of scheduling, the grunt work of, hey, we got to travel, we got to change things up. That where it starts to, okay, is this a partner for me? So
Now tell me how you got to Vegas.
Vegas popped into my mind because of Cirque du Soleil.
Now what shows has New York salsa in it?
Actually, I started researching on Cirque because one of my peers within the fashion industry had mentioned, hey, you should try for Cirque du Soleil. You should go there more so from a dancer's perspective, from an artisan's perspective, to see a new approach and see how dance is done differently.
Right.
Cirque du Soleil being, the stage, the global, probably the largest dance entity that any dancer can go to, any performer. But from a stage performance perspective, I was doing a lot of individual creating, even though I was learning different dance forms. So my thought was, hey, that'd be cool. I've never been to Vegas. Let me do my research. The state, Nevada, the Las Vegas as a city, as a town, and then after a while, I got thinking of whatever I do within Cirque, if it's minimal, if it's long term, that would look good on my resume. If it's office, if it's doing backstage work, if it's actually dancing.
So have you found any gigs with Cirque du Soleil?
3 years ago, I did the One Night for One Drop, which is an annual event which Cirque du Soleil they collaborate with the One Drop organization. And every year, I would say the third week in March, it's a week long of festivities, and it ends with a show on the Friday evening. All proceeds go to the One Drop organization.
Nice.
Which basically promotes water to needed areas around the world. But it ends on a Friday evening, and all the resident shows are closed down. And performers, the dancers, the aerialists, the musicians, the directors, artistic directors, they all converge, at least 3 months prior, and they put together the show.
Wow.
So that was a huge experience because essentially when I moved to Vegas, I actually, part of my work just to make a living was I was actually doing portrait work in front of the Bellagio.
Oh, interesting.
And then I was thinking, I'd look at the building, think, how can I get in there? I didn't know anybody here. And then a year or two later, after doing art exhibits, meeting a girl from Le Rêve who introduced me to the girl from Humanity, and then a year or two later, I'm actually on the stage in the Bellagio as opposed to being on the sidewalk.
Look at you.
But it's just with any goal, with any journey, it's just like, how am I going to do that? And
perseverance.
You wake up every day, you thank yourself that you have your health, friends, family, and you just go with your goal.
And where has social media helped you in this aspect?
Oh gosh, social media has,
Now, first off, do you like Facebook, Twitter? Which platform do you like the most?
I would say Facebook, being that it's nearing 1 billion. That's probably it is the most popular social media platform. But from Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Vine, and Tumblr.
Cool, awesome. So you're very intricate with social media. You're on top of it and everything.
I try to be. Every week, I'm actually looking at my site, looking at my media. What do I need to change? I'm using Facebook as a timeline of, okay, I've done these events the past few months. What do I need to change? What's new? And as Danny Vegas mentioned, there's Meerkat, there's Periscope, Livestream. These are all streaming social media sites, which is, as you mentioned, which are, within the past few months, which are really coming up. So I'm just trying to figure out techniques which are very efficient on how I can get my brand out there.
And one of the things I like to talk about, especially with techniques at WCOBM, you're actually allowed to not only have your own 1-hour show and broadcast live, but you can take the ability of having sponsors and advertisers. We have a group of videographers that go out and they scout out which your sponsors are. They go ahead and film commercials for you and air them during your segment. So a lot of people want to know new platforms and new abilities to make return of interest with live streaming. And I say, find some sponsors. We'll get the videographers out there. We'll definitely film them for you so you can captivate on selling airtime during your show. That's kind of a new way of social media and live streaming that people are taking advantage of. So I think WCOBM, you're going to be a guest next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next Thursday.
So we're excited about that too. Now we have here also Bryce Brandon. We're going to bring him on in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. But Wade, you perform all over Vegas doing certain gigs and dancing and stuff like that. Let's talk more about the gigs that you've been performing.
As of late, there's been mostly gigs throughout Vegas, either different social functions. Some of the venues are Rhythm Kitchen, which is put together by Sin City Salcedo Dance Company. There's a salsa and bachata event at Siena, which put together a couple of guys, Jack Graham and Maximo Crozier. Primarily those events. They're also actually coming up on May 3rd, Tribal Night at Bob Upstage Theater in Town Square.
So there's a big following with dancers everywhere.
Yeah. You have the larger stage and dance community with Serb, with Lorette, but you also, within that, also you have the salsa community, and then you have there's the hip hop dance community, but obviously my primary focus is salsa,
So you're glad you moved here from New York? Was it a good move for you?
Yeah, because that gave me a chance to meet a whole different dance community within the larger stage dancing aspect, and going from the Northeast to the Southwest, a different region for marketing and promoting my dance projects, and also connecting with new visual art clients.
Absolutely. And you also offer private lessons and group sessions?
Yeah, I do private one-on-one, and I primarily focus on the New York style salsa.
Okay.
And it goes from basic to intermediate to advanced to professional. And I like to call it the artisan. What are you doing beyond the professional level? But also I do group sessions that entails anywhere from like 3 to 6, and they're primarily by appointment. And then occasionally I'll do workshops, which are more seasonal.
So if anyone wants to see you online, I'm sure YouTube would be a good place they can go and see some performances you've done.
Yes, and actually, if anyone's interested, they can connect with me at wade75.com. That's WADE, the number 7, number 5.com. And they can browse to check out my bio, to the dance page, the art page, but the media page. Once they click on there, they'll see all the links to the 6 social networks, and from there they can connect with me or either through the website.
And next Sunday, you're going to have a little performance showcase at Pole Fitness Studio. They're having a studio recital.
Yes, actually since last fall, I've been teaching there, doing private lessons and workshops, and so as part of that event, I'll be doing there'll be a very special performance.
Very nice. So it's not just all about sex at Pole Fitness Studio, Danny. There's lots of different measurements of entertainment.
I just visualize this big room with a bunch of fireman poles, and I'm like, how do you do all this other cool stuff without running into all these poles?
You take them down.
Oh, I thought they were just like hardwired into the floor and stuff.
There are some that are like that, permanently fixtured, but you can also take some down and put them back up, portable, on the go.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
So Wade, thanks so much for coming on and being a guest.
Thank you.
You got to stick around for our social media pick, man. It goes worldwide.
Yeah.
Sure.
And another question I have is, be it that you're a dancer, you have to stay on top of, I don't want to say a diet, but an eating regimen. Are you vegan, or what is your secrets? Because you're a very lean and mean dancing machine.
There are no secrets. I mean, it's all about either someone's genetics or metabolism. But I mean, I eat meat, vegetables, just like anyone else. But obviously, being that, I mean, my metabolism's high. I take after my father, my mother, but also with the dancing, I'm very active.
How much do you dance per day?
Gosh, at least a couple of hours each day. If it's not rehearsal or teaching someone, or if it's just, I think just my personality in general. I'm just an active person. You know, my brothers and sisters and I, we grew up climbing trees and
back when there was no internet.
Yes. Well,
Right.
you know what you just said? If he wants to have a hamburger, he's going to have one, and no one's going to tell him not to.
In
Going
moderation.
in and out after this. You guys can all join together and get an animal
A
style.
little In-N-Out burger.
In moderation. In moderation, though, I think everything is most of everything should be fine.
And give a shout out to your dance partner.
Oh, that will it's a very little surprise that it's coming up soon.
Okay. So
Just
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned for the 702 Rock Show next Thursday,
Woo!
11 to 12.
You gonna bring her on?
A little surprise.
You gonna wear your costume?
We'll have a little something.
Sexy man in a leotard? I'm sure someone would like to see that.
Okay.
Oh, Danny, stop it.
Hey, I think everything's cool, man. I love everything.
And a big shout out to Pole Fitness Studio,
Oh,
the owner,
yes,
Fania
yes.
Dietrich.
Yes, definitely. Very big thank you to Fania Dietrich and the staff. They've been very supportive, very welcoming since having met them last fall. And for those of you that are interested in either taking some of the pole fitness classes, or if you're interested in actually salsa, New York style on 2 classes, feel free to give the studio a call, drop in, check out the website, follow them on social media, and then hopefully we'll see you guys there.